Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Whether you're a long-time subscriber or stumbling upon our content for the first time, we're thrilled to have you here. Get ready for engaging discussions and entertaining videos that aim to inform, inspire, and entertain. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest uploads. Now, let's dive right in. In August of 1945, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan bore witness to the cataclysmic power of atomic warfare. The dropping of atomic bombs by the United States marked a historic and unparalleled moment as nuclear weapons were unleashed in conflict for the first and only time in history. The repercussions of these bombings continue to reverberate to this day, prompting profound reflections on the ethical and moral ramifications of such devastating force. The devastation inflicted upon Hiroshima and Nagasaki by the atomic bombs is often described as beyond comprehension. In an instant, thousands of lives were snuffed out, and in the subsequent days and years, thousands more succumbed to the ravages of radiation. The physical and psychological scars borne by survivors, known as hibakusha, serve as haunting reminders of the grim realities of nuclear war. As we contemplate the enduring legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it becomes imperative to delve into the enduring impact on individuals, communities, and the global consciousness, with a fervent resolve to prevent such tragedies from ever recurring. Historical context: prelude to the atomic bombings. The sequence of events leading to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was deeply entwined with the escalating tensions of World War II. By the summer of 1945, the Pacific theater of the war had reached a critical juncture, with Japan adamantly refusing to surrender despite mounting pressures from Allied forces. In a bid to swiftly conclude the war and circumvent the necessity for a costly invasion of mainland Japan, the United States made the fateful decision to deploy atomic weaponry against Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This decision was influenced by a myriad of factors, including the desire to showcase American military supremacy, compel Japanese capitulation, and hasten the cessation of hostilities. The successful testing of the first atomic bomb on July 16, 1945, in the deserts of New Mexico, served as a pivotal moment in the development of nuclear armaments. Emboldened by this triumph, President Harry Truman and his advisors forged ahead with plans to unleash the atomic bomb upon Japan. In the weeks leading up to the bombings, the United States issued a series of ultimatums to Japan, demanding unconditional surrender. However, the Japanese government remained resolute, clinging to the hope of securing a favorable resolution to the conflict through diplomatic means. The atomic bombings, unleashing unprecedented destruction. On the fateful morning of August 6, 1945, the Enola Gay, a B-29 bomber, released the first atomic bomb, codenamed Little Boy, upon the city of Hiroshima. The ensuing detonation enveloped the city in a blinding flash of light, laying waste to vast swathes of urban landscape and claiming an estimated 80,000 lives instantaneously. The devastation wrought by the bomb was unfathomable, with buildings reduced to rubble and survivors left grappling with severe burns and radiation-induced illnesses. Despite the staggering toll exacted upon Hiroshima, the Japanese government remained obstinate in its refusal to surrender. 3 days later, on August 9, a second atomic bomb, codenamed Fat Man, was unleashed upon the city of Nagasaki. The detonation mirrored the horrors witnessed in Hiroshima, resulting in the deaths of approximately 40,000 individuals and leaving the city in ruins. The immediate aftermath: a landscape of desolation. The aftermath of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki plunged the affected cities into an abyss of chaos and despair. Survivors traversed through the debris-strewn streets in search of loved ones or desperately sought medical aid amidst the carnage. The wounded languished in agony, with scarce resources available for their treatment. The scale of devastation overwhelmed local authorities, as both cities grappled with the staggering magnitude of human suffering and the monumental task of reconstruction. In Hiroshima and Nagasaki, survivors bore not only physical afflictions but also enduring psychological traumas. The horrors witnessed, the loss of homes and loved ones, and the uncertainty of the future cast a long shadow over their psyches. Many struggled to reconcile with the enormity of the tragedy and to piece together shattered lives amidst the ruins. The impact on the cities themselves was profound, as Hiroshima and Nagasaki metamorphosed into ghostly vestiges of their former selves. Once vibrant communities now lay in ruin, haunted by the specter of nuclear annihilation. While efforts to rebuild commenced, the scars etched upon the landscape served as poignant reminders of the indelible legacy of the atomic bombings. Long-term consequences: lingering shadows of radiation. The enduring ramifications of the atomic bombings extended far beyond the immediate casualties, encompassing generations of survivors afflicted by the pernicious effects of radiation exposure. Hibakusha, or atomic bomb survivors, grappled with heightened risks of cancer, particularly leukemia, along with a myriad of radiation-induced ailments. Furthermore, the specter of genetic mutations and birth defects haunted subsequent generations, perpetuating the cycle of suffering wrought by the atomic bombings. Environmental degradation emerged as another enduring consequence of the atomic bombings, as the radioactive fallout contaminated air, soil, and water sources. Rivers and lakes surrounding Hiroshima and Nagasaki became conduits for toxic radiation, imperiling the health of both humans and wildlife. The soil remained tainted with radioactive isotopes for years, impeding agricultural revitalization and exacerbating the plight of local communities. Controversy and debate, ethical quandaries of nuclear warfare. The decision to employ atomic weapons against civilian populations remains a contentious subject, eliciting fervent debates over the morality and necessity of such actions. While proponents argue that the bombings expedited Japan's surrender, thereby averting a protracted conflict and saving lives, critics denounce the deliberate targeting of noncombatants as an egregious violation of humanitarian principles. The events precipitating the atomic bombings continue to serve as a somber testament to the harrowing realities of warfare and the dire consequences of unchecked militarism. The legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki epitomizes the fragile balance between moral imperatives and strategic imperatives in the conduct of warfare, underscoring the imperative of upholding ethical standards in times of crisis. International response, forging paths to peace and disarmament. In the aftermath of the atomic bombings, the international community grappled with the profound implications of nuclear proliferation, prompting concerted efforts to forestall the further dissemination of atomic armaments. Initiatives such as the establishment of the United Nations and the formulation of arms control agreements endeavored to promote disarmament, nonproliferation, and the peaceful utilization of nuclear technology. The atrocities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki catalyzed a paradigm shift in global attitudes towards nuclear warfare, fostering a newfound recognition of the imperative of preventing the recurrence of such calamities. The specter of mutually assured destruction loomed large, galvanizing nations to forge alliances, foster diplomatic dialogue, and pursue collaborative endeavors aimed at fostering global peace and security. Remembering the victims, upholding the sanctity of human dignity. As we reflect upon the tragic legacies of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it becomes incumbent upon us to honor the memories of the victims who perished amidst the rubble of atomic devastation. Each life lost represented a cherished individual with dreams, aspirations, and loved ones left bereft by the merciless onslaught of nuclear warfare. By commemorating the victims of Hiroshima and Nagasaki through acts of remembrance and reverence, we pay homage to their enduring resilience and fortitude in the face of unfathomable adversity. Furthermore, we reaffirm our commitment to safeguarding the sanctity of human life and preventing the recurrence of such unspeakable atrocities in the annals of history. In conclusion, the tragic legacies of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serve as somber admonitions of the horrors unleashed by atomic warfare. The enduring scars etched upon the fabric of humanity serve as poignant reminders of the imperative of pursuing peace, reconciliation, and the abolition of nuclear armaments. As custodians of the future, it falls upon us to heed the lessons of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, lest we be condemned to relive the nightmares of the past. May the memories of the victims endure as beacons of hope amidst the shadows of despair, guiding us towards a world where the specter of nuclear annihilation is but a distant memory. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below.